What is up, y'all? Welcome on back to another recap and review of Dandadan Season 2. I am going to be recap and reviewing episode number 8. So if you have not caught up with Dandadan through episode 8, this is your chance to push pause and then come back once you have caught up, because obviously I will be talking full spoilers from this point forward. So with all that being said, let's just go ahead and jump into this. Episode 8, You Can Do It, Okarun. So the composers strike at Okarun and Aira with their music and tight compositions, leaving Okarun and Aira overwhelmed and unable to dodge their attacks. So right out the gate, episode 8, we get some different style action here, especially animation wise, and like how these scenes look. Pretty much it looks like a white canvas, and they only threw color on there of the pink and the red from Okarun and Aira. And I think the animations look great. I think while you're watching this episode, that is one of the things that really stands out are the animations. They just look really fantastic. The budget for this show has to be fucking insane. For the show to look this good, they gotta be throwing some cheddar at that shit. Okarun is really going through some self-loathing here about not being able to dodge the attacks. Turbo Granny doing her best rah-rah speech by calling him a butt nugget and to move to the rhythm. Like, look, I love Turbo Granny. Maybe not the person that you need to give you a pep talk, you know? She might not be the person that you need. But a frustrated Turbo Granny urges Okarun to improve his fight rhythm, and Okarun synchronizes his timing to Hayashi's music. Okarun begins to perform better in combat with Aira, forcing Beethoven to use the Ninth Symphony and corner them with giant vocalists and an audience. Okarun and Aira work together to defeat the vocalists and composers, during which Okarun unlocks his full potential in his yokai form. The group is freed from the composer's realm, and Okarun thanks Aira and Turbo Granny for their help. So that whole part right there was a majority of this episode. And look, I don't know. I may have to go back and rewatch this episode. This may be one of my least favorite episodes of Dandadan, period. So I have multiple opinions about not only this episode, but what this episode entails. You know, every anime just about, especially in regards to power levels and fighting, they always have like a training arc. Like Dragon Ball Z had like 30 of them. And they usually last a few episodes. It's usually like little bridges between arcs. And this one, I appreciate the fact that they're doing an entire training arc in one episode. I really do like the fact that they did not play around. They said, let's fucking just get the story out there and just train them and be done with it. I don't know if it would have kept my attention through multiple episodes of more of what we got with this episode. I just felt like it was kind of boring, not gonna lie. I know I might be in the minority on that opinion. I went and watched some TikTok videos, some YouTube videos, and a lot of people find this episode to be hyped. I personally am not a big fan of it. And one of the biggest reasons of why I find a majority of this episode to be just overly boring, I was falling asleep, was the fact that I don't think that this show has the best action. It has greatly improved with season 2. This is probably the least fun it has been with this season. It reminds me of the shit that happened in season 1. It just wasn't all that engaging to me. But the one thing that I keep coming back to for this series, that slice of life aspect that the show has, the conversations between these characters, their interactions, that relationship between Momo and Okarun, we got none of that in this episode. In fact, Momo doesn't show up until the very end, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But a majority of this episode didn't have the things that I really and truly loved of this series. Now, were there moments in the action that I enjoyed? Yeah, for sure. But when the moment happened of the giant vocalists kind of joining the fray, and then we had the audience members and stuff like that, I kind of checked out. I'm not gonna lie. It became monotonous to me, and it felt like I was watching the same scene over and over and over again. So personally, wasn't a fan of the first 2/3 of this episode. But full disclaimer, I think the action is the thing that I like the least in this series completely. So, I mean, I come back time after time for, again, those relationships between these characters, Momo, Okarun, and their relationship with each other, that romance. That's what I keep coming back to with this series. And the action is just kind of secondary thing. It's kind of like the cherry on top. It just makes for a really great show. Personally, what I love about the show just wasn't in this particular episode, which is why I probably didn't like it as much. But I do acknowledge the fact that I probably should watch it again and give it another shot, because I'm telling you, I'm watching these TikTok videos out there. It seemed like I was the only one that didn't find this episode to be as hyped as it was. Back at Seiko's house, Manjiro reveals he has requested for Hayashi's assistance in Gigi's exorcism out of concern for their safety, leaving Momo in disbelief. Okarun, Aira, and Turbo Granny return home, and a determined Okarun challenges Evil Eye to a duel. Seeing Okarun's resolve, Gigi allows Evil Eye to possess him, and they begin fighting. I'm ready for my boy Okarun to just give it his all to Evil Eye and finally get a victory in. I can't wait for this fight in episode 9. That shit is going to be legit good. But the way that Okarun just shows up, he has like this matter-of-fact attitude with him, and he's not playing around. He is ready to settle a score with Evil Eye. He's pissed off that he couldn't protect Momo, and he's ready to get even with Evil Eye. And I can't wait to see if he's able to really just kick the ass of Evil Eye. And I love how Momo, and I love in this last scene where Okarun comes in and he's like, all right, let's fucking do this, okay? Let's come on, let's lay the dicks on the table. We're gonna fucking fight. And Momo is over there and she's like, you're really starting to piss me off with this. Like, what are you doing? And Okarun not even giving a shit about her. He is just solely focused on kicking Evil Eye's ass. Like, let's fucking go, bro. Like, this is one of the most hyped moments of the series so far. I was getting so giddy just watching Okarun just come in there and just swing his dick around and be like, yeah, I'm about to fuck your shit up. Let's go. Let's step outside. So I'm excited to watch the next episode, which I need to catch up on. But yeah, guys, overall, they just made a one big training arc into one episode. There's not much here in terms of plot or breaking down the development of these characters, which is one of the main reasons why I didn't really resonate with this episode as much as the others. I think it was okay. Overall, I think the episode was okay. It was probably one of my least favorite episodes of Dandadan. The middle of that fight with the bobblehead musicians was a bit of a drag, especially when they brought in, again, those giant musicians with the Ninth Symphony. I really do love the ending, though. The ending was so fucking good, which that is something that season 2 has been doing a lot of, just having those super strong endings to close out an episode. Okarun getting some fantastic character development this season. He's no longer that pushover kid that has no confidence. The moment where he shows up at Seiko's place and yells at Gigi to cash me outside, how about that? So good. He's ready to take on Evil Eye. Momo is wondering what the hell is going on. And Gigi is putting all this trust in Okarun to beat Evil Eye. So yeah, I'm excited about the Evil Eye and Okarun rematch in episode 8. Should be absolutely fantastic. But guys, let me know down in the comments below of how you feel about episode 8. Am I completely off base here? Is it something that I need to go rewatch again? Let me know your thoughts down there about this training arc episode. And with that, and while you're there, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us out. And also hit the notification bell so that you know when the next episode will drop on the channel. And with that being said, that's going to be it for me. And I will catch y'all next time on the next one. Laters.